Recently released as part of the Masters of Cinema series is Kwaidan number 228 and this limited edition set. And this has been a movie that I've been really eager to see for the longest while. Even more so after seeing Masaki Kobayashi's movie that came before this, which was just a wonderful film. And I really didn't know what I was getting with Kwaidan. I just knew about the reputation that it had. It was a horror anthology, and that was about as much as I knew. What I found going into this was this wonderful sense of atmosphere, this wonderful sense of production that goes through the movie. The way things are set up, the sets are mostly 90% indoor builds, and they look wonderful. They have these really kaleidoscopic type backdrops that offer all these different weird, strange coloured ideas, and it gives them the ability of doing this within sets to really play with lighting, to play with the way things suddenly change, where it can be snowing lightly to a sudden blizzard in one scene, how it can be a sense of autumn in the next scene. And it's just one of these really wonderfully visually pleasing ideas of a movie that just really captured me right from the get-go. And throughout the movie you get four tales. You get the black hair, you get the visage in the cup of tea, you get Hoichi, the earless, and you get my favourite, the lady in the snow. And they all offer various little kinds of fairy tales. There's no real juicy characters to get into here. They're all fairly on the surface what they are. You get a woodcutter, you get a samurai, you get just a basic idea of the character, but nothing more than that. And they're never really evolved much more than that, but you don't need them to be. When the production is as fantastic as it is, as the pacing is as wonderful as it is, as the design, as the meticulous nature of this movie takes hold, you don't need anything else, because everything is so rich and playful. It is a master at work, knowing exactly what he's doing and how he's doing it, how he is manipulating each and every situation. And I found it wonderful. And the four stories, of which of various degrees of enjoyment for myself, none that I disliked at all, I found them all very visually different. The movie opens with a startling credits put over water with ink going into it and swirling around in a kind of weird kaleidoscopic nature that's just kind of stunning. Lets you know that we're into this technicolor nightmare, this world that we're going to envisage. And the stories that we tackle onto are really very different in the way that they're done. Even if they're tackling a kind of silly subject, they still don't come across as campy. They come across as realistically terrifying pieces, like the black hair at the start. It has a kind of silly complex at the end of it, but you wholeheartedly buy into it. I love the way that a simple camera movement and a change of light completely change somebody, as we do in this movie. And my favourite tale, The Lady of the Snow, where near the end, before we get to the sort of reveal of this, and this one was kind of robbed of me because I'd seen this story reworked in the Tales from the Dark Side movie, I think it was, with the gargoyle story. This one, I knew where it was going, but it never took any enjoyment away from it. I loved the idea of it, how everything is so happy and poignant and fun. And it's all about a man who sees something and makes a promise, and ultimately when he breaks that promise, things come back to kind of haunt him. But it's wonderfully set up. It's just a terrific tale. The way the tales change are really wondrous and fantastic, and they really show you all different kinds of aspects of it. The one of Hoichi, the earless, which is the longest segment within this movie, starts off with a ferocious sea battle that feels kind of grand and in your face, and is kind of narrated by this song, which becomes pertinent later on in the story of this man who's haunted by ghostly spirits. And it's just wonderful. It's where that image of the man with all the symbols on his face, all the writing, comes into it, and it's wonderfully lavish. The decoration, the set, the delivery, the way it looks, it's just wonderful to see. This is one of these movies where I can't really talk about all the individual things I really liked about it, because there was so many. I think I would almost have to spend my time commentating over the movie about what and why I loved each and every scene. But the movie is a visual spectacle. It's one of those things that just, although the stories are very different, they do relate to each other through themes. They do relate to each other through the design and the meticulous nature of the movie being put together. And I just love this thing. It's the atmosphere that really captures through all of the stories. That through line is just wonderful. Even the ending story, which is rather short and abrupt, is there and short and abrupt because of a specific reason. And this set is really wonderful. It comes with a 100-page booklet, including the short stories, which each of the stories were based on, which I can't wait to really dig into. I've already started on this one already. The movie was just an absolute joy. It's the kind of thing I can see myself throwing on and maybe just watching a segment. You know, it's the kind of movie where you could do that easily. Just pick out your favourite, or if you're feeling that you really want to pamper yourself, just watching all of them. Kwaidan was so much worth the wait of it. I can't believe it's took me this long to get to it. I'm so glad I got to see this version of it. The colours just popped when as soon as I put it in. It was a wonderfully enveloping movie, and this is highly recommended. One of my favourites in the Masters of Cinema series. If you've seen Kwaidan, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.